20 minutes into the movie, she even sat down on his lap and made out with
Oh,
him.
no!
That
gosh!
wasn't when we went to my room. I picked up a sock from the ground to show Brian my butt.
Brian's lucky. But Brian is a lucky dude.
What's Brian got that I don't?
Brian took my hand and put it on her leg while kissing her.
What
And that's
the-
just
what
how
the
it
heck?
started.
Is he the king? Okay. We good? Everything good? Everything's recording. My face cam, my mic, we're good to go.
How's it going, people?
Yo.
Your boy's here. We're back. We're ready for some animations. I'm wearing all black, so I literally look like a floating head. Got the headphones on because I'm here with my boy oompaville.
What up?
That's him.
Yo!
We're doing animations, baby. I know. You guys are like, oh, Robert, you don't do animations enough anymore. Do more animations. Okay, fine. I do enjoy it. I get carried away by looking at other stuff, okay? Allergic to sweats. What the heck? We are on Share My Story, who just started posting again recently. So hey, if you want, go check that out. Allergic to sweat. What a grotesque thumbnail. We can't have that in our thumbnails or we lose money. Isn't that right, Oompa?
That's exactly right. You have to be very careful with what you put in your thumbnails.
A perfect example of someone being very careful with what they put in their thumbnails is this
Right.
oompaville character.
Yeah, careful with titles, careful with, thumbnails, careful with everything that's in the video, etc., etc. I'm a model for being careful, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
Yep.
probably just gonna blur this whole screen, not
I
gonna
would.
lie.
I would.
Okay. All right, Oompa, you ready?
I'm ready, and I'm excited! Ah!
I had a huge crush on my best friend Brian for years. That's why I desperately wanted to be his girlfriend.
Heck
But
yeah.
there was one problem, and that was Sarah. She was an absolute hoe.
Dude,
What the heck? We
They
don't hoe
always
shame.
go in on someone every episode.
Yeah, they start so quick. We do not hoe shame on this channel. Hoes gonna be hoes.
I had a private conversation. She would often come over to us,
Whoa.
stick her breasts out, and talk like a dumb little girl. Brian, I forgot my lunch money. Can I borrow some of yours, please? Well, Brian is a nice guy.
Brian's adjusting
so
his
he gave her
pants.
$2.
Oh, for the money.
But
Okay.
then she hugged him right in front of me,
Oh
kissing
my
her
gosh.
breast against his body. Of course, I wanted to strangle her. Everyone knew that Brian and I were almost in a relationship, so she was openly trying to steal him away from me.
Oh no.
The next day, I was on my way home from school when my skin started to prickle.
What?
I looked at my arm
Karma.
and noticed that it was completely red.
You aren't
Karma.
allergic to sweat, you allergic to hoes.
Oh, hoe magic.
Karma for hoe shaming, is that what
Yep.
you're saying?
Karma for hoe shaming. Karma for hoe shaming. You heard it here first.
This looks horrendous. This looks horrible.
But the prickling slowly turned into such an intense pain that I ended up screaming and it set me on
Ouch!
fire. Luckily, a policeman saw me and decided to take me to the hospital. I remember lying on the bed and peeling off the first layer of my skin. It was so
Ew!
disgusting.
Eat it.
But then the doctor told me, I'm sorry to inform
Put it
you
in a skin
that
box."
your skin has developed an extreme form of aquagenic urticaria, also called water allergy.
My instinct is to Google this, but I am going to save you guys from that. I'm not doing it.
Even small bits of water will cause an extreme allergic reaction to you.
The minions under your skin will go crazy.
You can't shower or sweat anymore.
What?
How is she gonna clean herself?
Death sentence. But the worst part was that I couldn't go to school anymore to defend Brian from the hoe, Sarah. I knew I
Oh
had to
no,
act back.
Brian's like, no, you need to save me. I hate it when she, shoves her chest in my face. It's such a shame that she keeps doing this. You need to save me. Oh, it's such a shame you won't be around to do that anymore.
I'm Brian right now. Help! Help me! Help! Help me! Help!
So I waited until my skin had recovered, and then I immediately invited Brian over to my house, while my parents weren't home. When I opened the door for him, he was shocked to see how I was dressed. I was wearing nothing but a short bikini. And when we went to my room, I picked up a sock from the ground to show Brian my butt.
Brian's lucky. Bro, Brian is a lucky dude.
What's Brian got that I don't?
The karma, if we're talking about karma, what has Brian done in his life to deserve all this attention from these women?
It's the ripped jeans. He's
Yeah.
got the ripped jeans.
The knee
I've
holes.
never done that. I've never worn the jeans with the holes in the knees. We got this skinny boy, this rectangle looking boy.
Little short arms too. He can't even reach his wiener.
Yeah, look at these little arms.
But then came the hard part. I told him about my water allergy, and how I couldn't clean myself with water anymore, and instead had to use powder.
Can you help
He
me?
didn't believe me at first, so I put a drop of water right on my breast.
No!
It slowly
God.
ran down.
It slowly got larger.
I think swelled up.
A rash had formed. I asked him if he still liked me despite my condition.
I'd
and
start
he
spitting
said,
on her.
Of course I do. Well, that's what I wanted to hear. So I pushed him on my bed
they're
and
thinking about
sat
the
on top
logistics
of
of
him.
this.
What the heck?
I asked, did you ever kiss a girl?
Aren't humans made of 60% water?
Oh, she's not a human!
She's made of concrete. She's made of concrete and rebar. She's like SCP-176.
Robots are allergic to water.
True, cyborgs.
I've never kissed a boy before. He didn't respond. I guess he was too nervous. So I took the next step.
He looks super nervous.
He's literally laying there stiff.
So I took the next step and went down to kiss him. I can't tell you what happened next. I made sure he had a good time. When our date was over, I gave him one last hug and said, "Wow, you are absolutely amazing. You can always come by at night when my parents are asleep."
What?
I was willing to do anything to make him my boyfriend. Did I feel like a hoe? Yes, a little bit. However, my plan had failed. Because when I checked
Plan
Sarah's
Brian.
Instagram the next week,
Oh,
I saw
It
that
was
she
more
had
hoe
posted a
stuff.
photo of herself eating ice cream with Brian.
If my name was Brian and I was this age, it would be a dream come true.
Yeah, Brian is a lucky man, but he's squandering this because he's not choosing. Well, no, he's not squandering it. He's actually taking full advantage of the situation.
Oh, heck yeah. No, she's squandering it. If she's on that hoe life, taking
Yeah.
a photo with a dude and posting it on the main feed is a bad call because
Yeah.
all the guys are like, oh, no, she has a boyfriend. I can't do that.
Put that on the fence though, with the feet pics.
Of course, I was furious, and I knew I had to act fast, so I invited Brian over to my house again. And this time, I made sure he had an even better time.
Oh
I
my
had bought
gosh.
myself a revealing bunny lingerie
What
costume,
the heck?
How?
and we did all kinds of things together. At one point, I sat on his lap and asked, "Are we in a relationship now?"
Do you have my Cash App link is in bio.
Are we in a relationship right now? Because I feel like I need to be compensated if not.
He responded, "I do like you a lot."
But I also like that hoe.
Something serious.
Her
Ouch.
titties are
That was
bigger.
not what I had wanted to hear.
Why did you say
I said,
on that?
"Come on, please.
Come on, please.
You know I love you so much."
Whoa! Dropping the L bomb.
Here, take this.
What?
I just did a thing where I would have done an edit where I would have said, hey, here, take this, and I handed you an L.
And he responded, "Okay, I'll think
Okay.
about it." However, the
Oh,
next
could you
day,
imagine
Sarah
hearing
came
that?
to-
I'll think about being in a relationship with you. I've got 4 things to think about. 2 of them are on you and 2 of them are on the other person.
However, the next day, Sarah came to my house.
Hey,
She smirked
Sarah!
and said, "I saw what you did with Brian yesterday.
You
In
saw?
fact, I've recorded you two through the window on
What?
my smartphone. I wonder what your parents are gonna do if they find out that their
does this have to
daughter
do
is
with
a
being allergic
naughty
to
little
sweat?
girl." Oh, damn it. I knew my parents were gonna kill me. Sarah
That's super
continued,
anime right there.
"I want you to break
Yeah.
off all contact with Brian.
Or else I'm gonna get surgery to make them even bigger.
Or else I'm gonna call the police on you.
Or I will show your parents the video." I had to hold back my tears and only said, "Okay, he's yours." Honestly, I had no choice. My parents were so strict that if they saw me naked doing dirty,
Yo, her mom is Charlie D'Amelio. We got Charlie D'Amelio mom. A lot of people were saying they cheated in the Mr. Beast YouTuber
Yeah, I
games
saw
because
that.
they had their whole family there.
I feel like it's definitely cheating.
Yeah, 4 people versus. I wanted Laserbeam to win.
Me too.
so I wrote Brian one last message saying, "Hey, this between us won't work out. I want to move on."
If you want Brian to want you, you gotta say you don't, it's not gonna work. If I know one thing about being male, it's that as soon as you can't have something, you gonna want that thing.
You want it bad too. You want it bad.
When Brian responded, "Oh, okay," with a sad
Yeah,
smile,
see, there you go.
I started crying uncontrollably, even though my tears caused even though my tears caused rashes all the way down my face.
Yikes.
I really thought my life was
Life
over.
over.
But then Brian knocked on my window. Gosh, this was so romantic. And when I opened it, He was looking as handsome as always.
As handsome as always. He did nothing to his appearance, as most high school boys do.
Hey, I'm a very short-armed guy, Brian. I love you. I love you.
If you have short arms, it costs less money to get a tattoo sleeve, so that's nice.
But also, you look like a T-Rex, though.
It's okay if you don't want to see me again, but I need to know why.
Right.
I couldn't hold back anymore and said, of course I still want to see you. I love you more than anything.
No! See, now he's gonna be out again.
Yep. Nope.
Stop.
Oh, you want more than anything. Oh, wow. He's a little clingy, don't you think?
So why did he send me that text?
Hey, look at that! Look at the phone name. What's he got for the other girl then?
Big sexy.
That's when I told him how the hoe, Sarah, had filmed us last night.
The hoe.
And that she was extorting me
Sarah.
with the video. Brian said, yeah, that sounds just like her. But I'm gonna move into my own apartment next week.
What?
If you want, you can move in with me. Then you're far away from your parents.
Gosh.
I said, you want me to live with you?
This is
And
a
he
perfect
responded,
scenario.
yes, I would love to do that.
Yeah,
everyone but
perfect.
Brian.
These people go back and forth between like, I don't really want to see you, to, oh my gosh, let's live together.
Yeah, and that will not end well. Like, they're gonna have a baby, and then it's gonna all go downhill from there.
Yeah, I want to see where the sweat comes back in, or if this is just a random subplot. Is the sweat the actual main plot here, or no?
Subplot seems to be the main plot.
But there is one condition. I will continue to see other girls, because I'm not ready to be in an exclusive relationship with you for the rest of my life. And I
He's
will
a
also continue to
savage!
see Sarah.
Yikes.
Of course, I would have preferred to have Brian all for myself, but I
So he's a
loved him so
polygamist.
much that I was willing to compromise.
What does Brian
1 week
do?
later,
Brian is a bad dude.
What does Brian do?
I'm gonna get tips and tricks from Brian. Can I sign up to do a course for this guy?
Sarah came by. She was dressed as always,
Louis
wearing
V.
a super short dress,
Bruh.
looking like a hoe. She said to
Yo.
me, "Hey, sweetie."
Hey,
And I
sweetie.
responded,
Hey, sweetie.
"Oh, you must be tonight's guest." We all sat down on the couch with Brian in the middle between us.
Oh my gosh.
We were watching a movie, but I couldn't enjoy it.
Dude,
The
how
hoe
is
was
this
constantly
a
cuddling
story?
herself against Brian. 20 minutes into the movie, she even sat down on his lap and made out with him.
Oh,
Oh
no!
my
That
gosh.
wasn't bad enough. Brian took my hand and put it on her leg while kissing her.
What
That's
the?
just
What
how
the
it
heck?
Brian is
started.
such. Is he
The
the
next morning,
king?
the hoe was gone. But I got an SMS from my dad, which said, "We found a USB stick with a video of you and some guy. You have
Oh.
sinned and need to come back home."
no!
You have
now."
sinned. You have sinned and need to return home immediately.
I had Brian, and he was all I needed.
What about Sarah?
Life was good. Well, at least until he told me that Sarah was gonna move in with us for 2 weeks because her parents had kicked her out.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bro, this couldn't get any better for Brian, I've got to say.
Except one of his GFs is gonna be moody all the time. Aside from that, perfect.
But you can look past that because you got one to rely on.
But if she stays for more than 2 weeks, I'm gonna move out again. The first night sleeping in the same bed as Sarah was terrible. She complained, "Why is the air conditioner so strong?
3
I'm
people
freezing
in
here."
one bed.
Then Brian explained to her that I was allergic to my own sweat, so we needed to keep it cool.
There was
Wow.
that
Of course, she
main
started
plot.
giggling and said, "Really?
Oh,
So how do you take a shower?"
She's gonna sneak in with the hose and be like, "Oh no, I was just trying to water the windows."
I said, "I don't take showers. I clean myself with powder."
You got that stink.
That's when she bursted out laughing and said, "Oh, that's why you smell so bad."
Yeah,
Gosh,
true.
I hated her. And the next morning, she woke me up screaming, "Oh no, she peed herself." I looked down, and indeed, my pants were wet.
Oh my
Sarah must have
word.
spilled a glass of water over me. I immediately rubbed it dry with the bedsheet, but it was too late. Both my legs were completely covered in rashes,
jeez.
and I cried out of pain.
Oh, jeez.
That's an assault! Get the cops in here!
She denied everything and said, "You know me.
You know, little old me, I would never do that.
I feel like previous circumstances and previous situations would lead me to believe that, yes, in fact, you would do something like that.
Spilling a cup of water or extortion. I feel like one's not that far of a jump.
You know me. I would never do that to you." I realized I couldn't let her get away with this, so I decided to secretly film her and Brian loving each other.
See, she's allergic to water. I bet she's allergic to fire. So just take a flamethrower and hit her with that. That's an equal exchange, right?
I would say so. Equivalent exchange.
I thought I could extort her, just like she had extorted me.
Yay!
But when I showed her the video, she only responded,
I like that. Thanks for filming that for us.
Post that. Send it to me.
Send me the Dropbox link.
She's yeah, thanks so much.
Wow, I look great.
Oh.
I'm sure my daddy would be proud of me.
Oh my god.
Wow, she was such a hoe that she didn't care about her reputation at all. So I knew I had to do something even more extreme to get revenge on her.
Right.
But it was too late, and she beat me to the punch. She made Brian and I sit down on the couch and said, "I have some wonderful news to share with you." Oh gosh, I knew this meant trouble,
Preggers.
but I still wasn't prepared
Or
for what
OnlyFans.
happened next. She pulled out a pregnancy test and screamed, "I'm pregnant!"
Yo, what about Peppa in the background? Did you see Peppa Pig?
Because I knew it was over between Brian and me. There was no way I'd help him raise Sarah's child.
Yeah, it's over at
no.
that point.
Freaked out too, screaming, "You camel! You got pregnant on purpose!"
Camel? Camel?
Camel? Is this something I'm missing?
It's because she got 2 humps on the chest. And she's trying to get another one, if you know what I'm saying.
2 humps in the breast, 1 in the chest.
Congratulations, Sarah. He's yours. And then I took my
Oh.
stuff and left.
Peace.
Going
Peace.
back home wasn't easy, though. My dad was still furious about the video of me and Brian. He shamed me for hours, saying a promiscuous girl like me would never find a husband.
So not true, though.
Yeah, that's not true.
So not true.
That's the opposite of true. She has no problems being loyal. That's all that matters.
Guys would just pass me around.
Oh!
Of course, I felt ashamed of myself, but I
Right.
responded, "Dad, I made a mistake.
Dada.
I get it. But I'm also 18 years old and not a child anymore."
Good point.
Then he opened his laptop and
Oh,
started
no.
playing Sarah's video of me and Brian
Dude,
doing dirty
what?
things. I quickly
Why?
had enough,
Oh,
closed the
wow.
laptop, and said, "If you don't want to support me,
Cringe.
fine. I'm gonna leave again."
Then support my OnlyFans. You're gonna support me, at least support my OnlyFans.
Link below, just below the Cash App.
I actually didn't mean it. But my dad responded, "Fine, go leave us and meet some guy. That's what you're best at."
What about that guy in the bottom right there? You see that?
What a range of guys to meet.
Anime, e-boys, old guy.
Here's the question, who's a bigger gamer?
I can tell you who's the bigger predator.
I left the house and sat down on the stairs for a moment. What was I supposed to do now? I had no idea. But when I checked my smartphone, I saw a message from Brian. It said, "She is not pregnant."
Whoa! I don't think they're going to say all of these words in 9 seconds, rather.
Sarah was only faking it. I just kicked her out, and I want you to come back. I love you, and I promise not to see any other girls anymore.
What an abrupt end.
That was so abrupt. Hit me, baby, one more time. I've got your picture.
Wait, what? My loneliness is killing me, and I must confess, I still believe. When I'm not with you, I lose my mind.
What about the long ago the 4 nations lived together in harmony? Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
They really didn't think we were gonna read this.
Yeah, they really didn't.
There is a pause button. It's a real thing.
Yeah, you should have thought about that.
I just kicked her out, and I want you to come back. I love you, and I promise not to see any other girls anymore.
The end. The end. I'll tell you what she was more allergic to than water.
What?
Hose.
Yeah, well, water comes from the hose, so she's taking it to the source.
She allergic to water. She allergic to hose.
There we go. Oh, yeah. That's what they were talking about this whole time. She didn't like hose because they secrete water. Water comes out of them. This is essentially an actual gun to her.
Right. That is a real life laser cannon. Acidity shooting water cannon laser thing.
All right, well, again, a bunch of psychos in that video. No one, I mean, they're 18-year-olds. That's how 18-year-olds act, you know? Yeah. My life with half a brain. Wow. I can't believe they made an animation about people who aren't subscribed to RobertIDK. Pretty amazing. Because no, it is true, actually. A lot of people, when they don't subscribe to RobertIDK, it is very common for your brain mass to decrease at a rapid rate. So definitely hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, because the bell icon helps keep you protected as well. So.
Yeah, turning on the notice helps, for sure.
All right, so this is an animation about people who aren't subscribed to RobertIDK.
I'm Marissa, and I've been watching Share My Story for the last few weeks.
Oh,
and
cool.
today, I want to tell you my story of how I lost one half of my brain.
Okay.
I was a completely normal girl until the age of 3.
Then?
But then I had my first seizure, and I
Oh my
can still
gosh.
remember riding in the ambulance to get to the hospital. Unfortunately,
Well, this isn't even like funny.
at one point, I was having seizures every 5 minutes.
Oh my
God.
gosh!
Doctors
This is horrible. In real life, though, when people do have severe epilepsy, they split the left and right side of the brain, and it works a lot of the time. But then you can't, like,
Really?
if you split your vision to where you can only see something on, like, the left side of your vision, and you try to touch it, and you see it, you won't there will be no stimulus because the vision part for your left side is on the right side of your brain. The touch part for the left side is on the left side of your brain. So you'll be able to touch it, but you won't know what it is and you won't be able to actually see it. It's really confusing. I read about it in a neuroscience book like 2 weeks ago.
Hey guys, did that make sense to you? If so, let me know in the comments below, because I retained none of that. But thank you for the inspiration, Oompa. We were trying to keep this this channel educational.
The doctors diagnosed me with Rameson's encephalitis. It's a rare inflammatory neurological disease which affects only 1/2 of the brain. The doctors gave me all kinds of medicine to treat it, but nothing worked. And because the seizures kept me from falling asleep,
Oh my gosh.
I was close to death after a few days. That's why my parents allowed the doctors to cut out the affected area, which meant I'd lose half of my brain.
I don't think that's how that
Obviously,
works.
My parents were very worried
Yeah,
about
is that
brain
how that
damage, but I was lucky.
There's gotta be some kind of inability to talk that happens from cutting out an entire half of your brain. Unless I'm crazy, you guys.
Your brains are not, they're like one thing. When you lose a part of your brain, no matter where it is, you lose some function of who you are.
I don't know. Someone much smarter than me is gonna comment and tell me how dumb I am. Guys, I'm letting you know right now, I know I'm dumb, okay? So don't roast me.
Because I was so young, my brain was still growing and developing. So even though I only had 1/2 left, my brain was able to adapt and reorganize itself. After the operation, the seizures stopped. And these days, the only signs of what happened are that I don't have much control over my right upper body.
What the
School was
heck?
hard though. I find it tough to focus for long, and it took me years to learn how
Hey,
to
it's
read
me.
and write.
Okay,
I remember
never mind.
watching other kids doing things like playing on the swings or
Like
chasing
moving,
either,
speaking, moving the right side of their body.
How do they do that?
and I'd be sad because I couldn't join in. My parents
What
didn't
is
have
this?
it easy either.
This is
I
kind of
had
a
lots of mood
mean
swings
animation.
growing up, and sometimes I even threw scissors and forks at them because
What
whenever
the
I was
heck?
angry, I lost all my self-control. The doctors explained it by saying that my prefrontal cortex was still damaged by the brain operation I had as a
You didn't
3-year-old
have
kid.
half of it,
But
though.
despite my many flaws, I'm always trying my best to be a positive person.
Mom.
I'm constantly joking and I always have a smile on my face. That's because I know how lucky I
Her
am to
eye
be
twitching.
alive.
Yeah, and why did they all of a sudden just go all in on the lip syncing? They did none of that until this
That's
shot.
because I know how lucky I am to be alive, even though I lost half my brain.
Right.
Today, I'm 28 and married to the man who I love very much.
All right.
I also play the violin in
No
my
way.
spare time,
Lies.
although I'm not very good at
I
it.
can imagine that.
Only issue with playing an expensive instrument is when I get mad, I always smash them. So I keep this corner of my room my smashed violin corner.
Many years ago, I dreamed of becoming a nurse so I could help others the way the doctors helped me.
Honestly, someone who can't control their anger probably shouldn't be with sick people or people who are injured. That's my thought, but hey, maybe I'm crazy, you guys.
I
Yeah.
can't control my right arm, so I've been told I wouldn't be able to pursue that profession.
Oh, okay, I
But
should have just let it play.
instead, I became a part-time cleaner
Look at
at
that
a
thing
local
flopping.
hospital. And I also
Yeah.
volunteered to spend time with patients who need someone to talk to.
I think you should learn sign language. That wouldn't be stressful.
Imagine her putting in
Recently,
a catheter.
one of my former classmates was hospitalized. She was one of the girls that made fun of me back in middle school. She always said I was too dumb to be considered a human. and
Oh
her
my
comments made me
gosh!
feel very insecure
That is
about
very mean.
myself. But that didn't keep me from going into her room
Oh my
to
gosh,
clean it.
she's watching over a giant. This is Princess Fiona, not in ogre form.
That is a huge bitch.
That's a big person.
Also, it switches
Wow.
her, like, it just mirrors the image. So, like, right now, her left hand is the one that's twitching, and then it goes back to her right hand. So I'm not sure what kind of bull editing they're putting in this, but it's total bogus.
She saw me, she said,
Look at him.
"Oh, Marissa, you're working as a cleaner now. That's great." I know she looks down on me, but I don't mind. I'm giving my best every day.
Y'all aren't saying anything.
Yeah, there's just, like, speech bubbles.
You're not saying anything.
Hey, Robert, let's have a conversation. Now let's kiss. We kiss in almost every video. Tara makes us kiss.
Okay, thank you, Tara, even though this is my video, so you can't control me. All right, carry on.
I just wanted to say how grateful I am to be alive. If it wasn't for the doctors
Yo, the animator was like, do we have to do this person's story? Because this is gonna be a real pain to animate. Do the one about the person in the wheelchair who just doesn't move.
The person who can't move for 8 minutes.
And he's like, hey, you wanna keep your job? We animate everybody. We do not discriminate. Good job, share my story, I respect it.
I just wanted to say how grateful I am to be alive. If it wasn't for the doctors who operated on me, I wouldn't be alive today. And if I'd been born 200 years ago, people would have confused my seizures with me being possessed by a demon.
Right.
I'm so lucky. Never forget that this could be your last day on Earth.
True.
You might suffer a stroke tomorrow and be gone in an instant. Don't waste your time complaining. I mean, I could spend all day thinking about what I can't do because of my brain damage. But instead, I just spend time with the people I love and who love me back. I have a simple but good life, and that's all that matters to me. Thank you for listening to my story. Please subscribe to this channel for more animated stories.
True.
Yo, she won me over, man. She won me over at the end.
Yep.
I respect it. Yo, honestly, dude, it took me way too long to learn that, like, complaining about stuff just makes me feel bad and does nothing. You know, Marissa, I respect you. You could speak with a little more enthusiasm, but hey, you've had a rough go, and I don't expect, you can't expect too much.
Hopefully you're doing better now, if you're even real.
What did you think about these, Oompa?
I thought it was pretty good. The first one was ridiculous, and I think that Sarah belongs with the streets. To the streets, I mean, not with, to the streets.
Yeah, I really resonated with the female characters in the first one a little bit more. I don't know why. I just felt, I was more drawn to those characters.
Right. Can't put my fingers on it. Can't quite put my fingers on it.
This was mildly epic. Go check out Oompaville.
Thank you.
He's PG-13.
Totally family friendly.
PG-13, you guys. I'm not trying to throw anyone to the wolves who ain't ready for it.
Yeah, absolutely 100% PG-13, please.
Okay, but check out Oompa. He's the homie. And we just did a video on his channel as well. So go check it out, fam. It's right here. Can you believe it? Unless we didn't post at the same time, then maybe it'll be a few hours, but otherwise it's here. Anyways, have an epic day, you guys. Be thankful for both halves of your brain, okay? If you want to have bigger brain, subscribe to RobertIDK.
Right.
And Oompaville.
Right.
Bye!
Bye-bye!